Seekers of Truth Wellness Collaborative in Boise, Idaho. Today is session 2 of the topic of faith. And last time, as a quick review, we started out with the 3 pretty distinct groups. We had the Sufis, we had Christianity, and then we had Wicca, looking at faith from their different aspects. And for the Sufis, there's a piece where they want to be able to see it, to believe it, if you will. They sort of had, like we saw, they had a little bit of more wanting something tangible that they work towards. And then on the Christian side, we had just faith as that all-encompassing driver or force to move you forward. And then with the Wiccan, we had the way they express faith through rituals, through ceremonies, through a god and a goddess who are equal, not one above the other, different things like that. And it sort of helps them set out their goals, their life system, and the different groups that they have, which is what led to today, as it were. In session 2, I went to a little bit different kind of a resource to find some answers to some of the questions that we had when you and Josh and Alejandro were here, and we were talking about faith in general, trying to define the term that it is. Right? So I found this from the Delaware Gazette. Faith is important because faith frames who we are, our existence, our values, our hopes, and our dreams. Faith is the quiet before a storm. Faith is the anchor in a storm. There's a misconception that faith is all about winning. Faith is not a game of the winners versus the losers. And what I liked about this one is, even in our conversations, I didn't think about winning. You know, like what they're trying to say maybe is you have faith so that you get good things. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like we touched on that last time. But I guess, I don't know if we connected that with winning or losing.
Yeah, and it's just like, to me, it would make that hollow if that was someone's whole reason for believing in something, because they wanted that gain from it, kind of a thing. Could be wrong, but I just like the thought of the anchoring, which seems to be the prevalent underpinning of faith, no matter what somebody believes. That it is that anchor for them. And then I found a piece related to mental health, the intersection of faith and mental health, which is sort of interesting to sort of go into these areas that maybe we don't connect right away with the topic. From the National Alliance on Mental Health, with the link there to their website. For too long, there has been a divide between faith and mental health, with mental illness being viewed as a moral or spiritual failing, and spirituality being viewed as unscientific. Faith can help us in many ways that traditional treatments can't. Faith is a powerful thing. Faith can help us make sense of our suffering. Faith can give us the strength to persevere through hardship, and faith can help us connect with a community that cares. And sort of why I put the picture up there, it seems to be one of those things that we forget. That's why people, oftentimes, that's one of the motivating reasons, I think, for joining a church or a specific group, is for that community
Yeah, the sense of community with shared values.
Mm-hmm. Which would then make that aspect of your mental health much better if you're not alone and if you're doing things and you're interacting with others.
Yeah, like-minded people that
Yeah.
all have a goal of lifting each other up.
Yeah. And we see that all the time. I can't think of a church or a spiritual organization that doesn't have some kind of giving program, right? And that could be the thing that keeps some people, a percentage, motivated to come and give their time.
Yeah.
But never really thought about it from a mental health perspective, keeping yourself integrated in the community. Oh yeah, that makes you feel good. So.
Yeah, good spiritual fitness, that's a thing.
Yeah. And last one. Just didn't get my clicker set up, so I have to keep sliding back and forth. Not that they can see it anyways, as why I always put those on the website so they can see the slides. And genuinely, I think the pictures come through, but oh well. Right now they got a big white screen that says, "Why do Muslims take a pilgrimage to Mecca?" So when I was thinking back to the first three from last week, and then the questions about why is faith important and the mental health aspect, and I'm thinking, okay, there's one group that goes to like far extremes to show their faith, and that's Muslims. They have 5 pillars, and one of them is pilgrimage to Mecca. Nice little picture there of all the pilgrims.
Mm-hmm.
So, exploring the mental, emotional, and spiritual significance of Hajj comes from the journal that's linked there. For Muslims all across the world, the desire to participate in the religious rites of the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca, which stands as one of the 5 pillars of Islam, is a heartfelt longing. It stands for the pinnacle of devotion and spiritual gratification, luring followers to the most sacred city in Islam for a life-changing journey of faith, camaraderie, and submission to Allah. So I know just from different researches and stuff that pilgrimages used to be big in Europe in the past, in the Middle Ages, in the Christian churches, Catholic church, and stuff like that. But they don't seem, not that I've heard of, but maybe there is, but they don't really seem to have a pilgrimage necessary to show your faith.
Right.
And it's not an easy pilgrimage. When you read on what they have to go through just to get there, even if you're
to get there from Europe, yeah.
Anywhere, or get there from America, right?
Right.
You got to fly over, then you got to get there, and it's not like it's in an easy place to get to. And they talk about people taking just jugs of water to fill up and all this other kind of stuff, because once you get to a certain area, yeah, you're footing it, you're hoofing it for a while there, and you're retracing the steps. I don't know the whole process because I'm not Muslim, but I read enough to see and understand that when they walk in the circle around there, they're retracing the steps of Abraham, and they're doing all this stuff. So it's all purposeful and intentional. And along with praying 3 times a day, the 5 pillars are what make you a true Muslim. So in that instance, you would feel like, I have to go there. I can't be completely true to my faith if I'm not holding up all 5 of these pieces.
Right.
So it seems like a real tangible exhibition of faith to go on this journey at least once during your life is the goal. So
It's difficult, but it is attainable.
yeah, if it makes that's what matters most. You'll make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I mean, they like Alejandro, who was here, he does what we would call pilgrimages all the time to Tibet and the monasteries and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's in everything every person kind of requirement either, you know. Definitely it doesn't ring true what I've seen from Christian churches I've been to. There's no place you gotta, there's no Graceland you gotta get to kind of a thing.
Not to my understanding. No.
So, but again, just different, expressions of faith or connection in that aspect. So those three, the mental wellness, the anchoring, and the exhibition of faith, sort of just help to solidify for me. Just again, it goes beyond church doors, I think, faith as well, because of its impact and the things that it can inspire.
For sure. Yeah.
And as we've seen in the previous sessions too, it becomes much more encompassing. Right? We've now moved into 6 different ideas, groups, thoughts, whatever the case may be, and we can see just the huge diversity that's developing over that thread. The importance, or how they demonstrate that, why they do what they do.
And I think they have a lot of impact in the communities where they are.
Yeah. Well, that's, gives a strong bedrock for the community to be able to do the things that they want to do, or, create these events, pull stuff together, and then that just brings more people into the communities as well, into those process. And I don't see, and I haven't seen, and with the next session, I don't foresee, I haven't really come across faith as a negative thing, because even like the followers of Jonestown, I don't know that it was faith, because he wasn't doing it for faith, kind of a thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, it can be manipulated, of course, and those people were being faithful, maybe, right? But was the intent all about faith? I highly doubt that was what it was about, for him or any of them. I remember, I'm sure you remember Heaven's Gate, the ones who all wore the purple and the Nikes and took the nice drink and didn't wake up.
Right.
Their spaceship was they had that belief. But I don't know. It can definitely be perverted, but that might be another term that isn't quite faith. I don't know.
I don't know. They had to have some pretty strong belief to do what they did.
Yeah. Always more questions, and questions like that we'll never get an answer for.
Yep.
All right, so we've got the last 3 again, like we've done before, maybe breaking into psychology, mental health, philosophies, of course, because all these terms, they transcend the single term itself, I believe, when we really get to look at all these things and think about how people work within these structures, harmony, bliss, faith, how that helps us to keep ourselves focused and do what we want in the big scheme of things too. All right, well, appreciate the tune in and hope to see everybody coming soon here. Have a great rest of your day.